Athletes need to train, and so do piano players. You may not like thinking about technical exercises, but you should not dread them. I've demonstrated several technical exercises on this channel, and this video is a quick review on why they are so important. I mentioned that athletes need to train. Well, you are a hand athlete as a piano player. And technical exercises are one of the most powerful tools in your development as a pianist. They're like the gym for your fingers, for your brain. So why are they so valuable? How do they support every aspect of piano playing? Well, first of all, practicing technical exercises will help you build finger strength and independence. But I want you to think about this. What muscles are affected when you practice technical exercises, or when you're just playing the piano in general? Now, a lot of folks, and this included me at one time, thought that technical exercises strengthened your fingers. Just talking about strengthening your fingers. I remember a exercise book I had that was titled Finger Power. And that made it sound as though you were just training your fingers. But playing the piano involves much more than just finger muscles, training fingers. There are a lot of muscles involved in playing the piano, and practicing technical exercises will strengthen what we call the flexor and extensor muscles, the muscles in your forearm. You can feel these muscles at work if you wiggle your fingers and then feel your arm like this. You can feel these muscles moving. These muscles control finger movement and strength. Now, you do have muscles in your hands, and the technical name for these muscles is the lumbricals and interossei. I don't think I'm pronouncing those right, and I don't expect you to remember those terms. There's not going to be a quiz at the end of this video. But there are these tiny muscles in your hands, and they are also key for finger independence and control. So you've got muscles in your forearms, you've got little muscles in your hands. You're also exercising the muscles in your wrists, muscles like the flexor carpi radials and the extensor carpi ulnaris. These muscles manage wrist motion. Well, there's more terms that you don't need to memorize. I'm certainly not going to remember them off the top of my head. Just remember, you're working your wrist muscles. So you have muscles in your forearms. You've got little muscles in your fingers. You've got muscles in your wrists. But you're even developing more muscles when you practice technical exercises, when you're playing a song on the piano. You're working your shoulder muscles and your upper arm muscles. In other words, if you know the names of some of these muscles, you're working your deltoids, your biceps, your triceps. These are the muscles that help keep your arms suspended over the keyboard, and they support movement across the keys. You're using these muscles when you press down on the keys. Have you ever watched a piano player who's playing with real force? You know, they might be playing something like, it's certainly not all generated by the fingers. They're using their shoulders. They're using their upper arm muscles. All these muscles are involved. I remember reading an article about the famous pianist Artur Rubinstein. And if you don't know much about him, you should look him up and learn more about him. One of the most famous pianists of all time. And the writer of this particular article stated that Rubinstein had biceps like a shot putter's. And that was from all those years of playing piano and using all those muscles. There are even more muscles affected by playing piano, by practicing technical exercises. You work your back and your neck muscles, or your trapezius and your rhomboids, just in case you wanted to know the names of these muscles so you can impress your friends. Once again, there won't be a quiz at the end of this video. Just think about your neck, your back. These are the muscles that help you maintain your posture. Now, didn't your parents ever tell you, sit up straight, don't slouch? Your back and your neck muscles help you sit up straight and also allow for relaxed, fluid arm movement at the piano. Playing the piano, practicing technical exercises, this works your core muscles. Isn't it amazing? Playing the piano can be a total body workout. You're training your abdominals, your obliques. These muscles are surprisingly important for balance and stability when you're sitting at your keyboard. Even your leg and foot muscles come into play when you are using the pedal. Why does this all matter when you think about all these muscles that are involved in playing the piano? What makes this so important? When you come to understand and keep in mind all the muscles involved in playing piano, in practicing technical exercises, you'll find that you will practice with better posture and awareness of what your body is doing. You're not just dealing with your fingers, you're dealing with your whole body. And you'll avoid injury from tension or overuse. You'll improve your technique, your endurance, and your expression. You ever wonder how a musician can sit and play for 2 or 3 hours without getting tired? It's because they have learned the benefits of technical exercise and how the whole body is involved in playing the instrument. There are other benefits to practicing technical exercises. You will experience improved accuracy and precision. In other words, you'll be more likely to hit the right notes. Repeating exercise patterns, whether they be scales or arpeggios or some type of 5-finger exercise, repeating them slowly and correctly will train your hands and your brain to execute those movements reliably. And over time, this develops muscle memory. So eventually your fingers know where to go without you really having to think about it. And you will develop speed gradually and safely. Technical exercises allow you to increase the tempo a little by little without increasing the tension. And so, as I mentioned before, they will help you prevent injury by encouraging efficient movement and proper posture. Technical exercises can also help you refine articulation and dynamics in your playing. So, for example, let's take a simple exercise like the first exercise in Hanon, where it goes like this. You may have practiced this exercise. Now, you can take this one exercise and play it staccato without getting tense, or legato, or you can play it forte or piano very softly. Sometimes playing soft is harder than playing loud, but practicing exercises in this way gives you more expressive control. And so when you learn to play a song or a piano piece, you learn to shape the phrases and not just hit notes. Your playing takes on personality and feeling and emotion. It's not just a series of notes. You know, technical exercises can even help you learn music theory. You begin to internalize patterns and keys. This is why I encourage all of you to practice scales and arpeggios, but also in every key. This helps you become better at sight reading sheet music or reading a lead sheet, and you become more proficient in improvising. Now, we've mentioned how these technical exercises can enhance coordination. You know, there are some exercises that require your hands doing different things at once, and that's great for building hand independence and rhythmic control. Technical exercises will prepare you for expanding your repertoire. They lay the groundwork for tackling a challenging song, perhaps a new song to you. Or if you're playing classical music, technical exercises will help you tackle those challenging passages. When you're playing one of your favorite songs, for example, you'll be able to add flourishes and runs to your playing. You know, you can even prepare certain runs and fills ahead of time and then throw them in whenever they are appropriate. Now, that's something that I've demonstrated in past videos, and I'll come back to that. But there you are. There's a quick overview of the benefits of including technical exercises in your practice routine. So what should you do? Well, everyone's practice routine is going to be different, but stay tuned because we're going to deal with this in another video. You can, for the time being, review some of the exercises in my piano technique playlist. But I do want to show you some examples of exercise routines that you can employ to help you improve your playing, to become more expressive and fluid and more relaxed at the keyboard. I hope this has been helpful for you. Hopefully this will keep you motivated to include technical exercises in your practice routine. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those in the comment section. You can support my work through Patreon. You can see there's a list going by of those people who have chosen to become patrons of the channel. They get more detailed instruction than I'm able to provide here on YouTube. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you haven't done that. That helps the channel. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.